Afternoon, searchers. Just want to chat you through the Searcher Power program. I'm using it at the moment, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I've pulled out some great stuff in the last few weeks. I've adjusted the tones to suit what I want it to come through as, and as proved on a few videos out there on SIDS, Marky Marks, I'm actually starting to nail the idea on things now, which is nice to do that in the first few weeks of having the actual product itself. Equinox 800 will be exactly the same as the 600. A few of the settings are different, so they still have the settings, but they have less increments. So with this, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in certain things, and in the 600, you'll have 1, 3, and 6, something like that. So base it around there percentage-wise, and you'll be there or thereabouts. But this is the 800. So the Searcher Power program, multi, choose multi, noise cancel in the field every time. That's what I've been doing. Seems to work. Fine, lovely. Ground balance 0, you can change that if you want to. I haven't been anywhere yet where I've pumped and found it to need to be done any different to that, so that's absolutely fine. Volume maximum at 25. I want to hear those little tiny bits and pieces that may be coming through or trying to come through that you're not hearing. Hold that down, go away from the local menu into the advanced, and this is, that's a bit advanced, it's gone through. So T1, the tone 1, the volume level, that is at 1, so that is when you're using all metal mode. You will basically hear that in the background, and that is, it's a nice, I'll put the video carry on, it'll show you what iron sounds like with that in and what it's like without it, but it's just there in the background, it's not blurting out anything. We'll go into T2, everything's at maximum. I want to hear all those other bits and pieces that are coming through. Hold that down, we'll go back to the local menu because it will save that, and as I cycle through it will stay in expert. Threshold level, threshold at 1, I want it, it's just underneath the hum. I want to feel that it's running hot, which is always nice. And the pitch, standard as 4, put it down to 1 as recommended by Golden Heritage, and it's working. Happy days. Target tone, 5 tones. You can have 50, you can have 2. I'm running in 5. I like the way it's set up. It's nice, works well. So, that's a bit advanced. So, tone 1 is at 1. So, you hear that? That's what my iron's going to sound like if it's trying to get through, or sort of coke, which will come in at 1 or 2 on the bar, which I've notched out, which you'll see in a minute. 2. That's the sound I want it to be. That one there. That is, I'm finding most of the stuff is coming in that bar. Lead just creeps into it, it's just coming out the bottom, it's creeping into that at sort of 9, 10, 11. The Romans are in it, silver's been in it, gold's been in it. That section there for me is quite important, so I don't want the sound to be too low, but I want it to be too high that I'm missing those little tiny silver high squeaks on the deep silver, sorry, should I say. I'll show you in a bit what I mean by that. Then I've gone into T3, it's up to 18, that's a nice tone, nice and high, and then we go to up to 22, much higher, and that is the big silvers, the big hammies are coming in at that, which they blow your ears out when you get them, really, really nice. And then obviously the rest of it will be filled in. T5 is really high. I haven't had anything up there yet. Tell a lie, big bit of bronze coming at that, and I think cartwheel pennies are coming at that. I'll grab one of those in a minute and check it, but yeah, that is that's 20. It's just a nice tone. So that's on at 25. Back to local menu. We'll go along to accept reject. So this is right down at the bottom. So -9. That's up to 2. There we go. So T1. This is where your tones start to come in. Your tone breaks. So -9 to 2 is my first one, whereas I'm on the iron. The coke's coming in at 1 or 2, so I'm missing that, but it still gives a faint fuzz if anything's coming in. I did have a copper core modern penny come in at around about 1 or 2, and you still get a peak actually from because it's round, it's going to give a decent tone, but it was telling me it was iron as well, so that's what they come up at. That was absolutely fine. And then the break up to 9, which is obviously my other tone, 18, 25, and then the rest is filled in. Come out of that, go back to local menu. Recovery 4, I think that's the best I've used. I've tried higher. I felt that with the higher, it makes the targets very, very tight, very small, And I think if you had a slightly quicker swing speed than normal, you may lose those little blips, especially later on in the day when your concentration is lost a little bit. So 4 actually elongates them. It still gets them in between the eye, and I'm doing it on the Roman side, but it's making the sounds bigger. And I'll do that little video in a minute. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. And then this is the iron bias, the bit that that the Equinox had added in last minute. I was running it in 2 on deeper land, let's say pasture type land. It was fine, but I was finding the iron was still coming through, especially deeper jaggedy bits. 3, it's knocking them out. Okay, back again. So I'm just going to run over what the tones sound like in just some basic bits and pieces that we find, and some not so basic bits and pieces we find. So as I was saying earlier, large silver. Listen to this. That's lovely. Imagine that. Large silver. Big hammy. Great, that, isn't it? Small silver. Okay, listen how low it goes. That's right down there, isn't it? Now that is small. That's a little tiny Iron Age or ancient British coin minim. Gold. Gold is low too. You ain't gonna miss that though. Here we go. It said about a cartwheel penny. I've just dug one out. How high that is. Romans. All coming in that band that I was talking about. Quarter stater. You wouldn't know the difference between that and a Roman if you were digging it out. You just nice surprise. Buttons. See, all coming in about the same. 17. That's what cowl tubes were coming in the other day. So don't get complacent. Dig everything that sounds good. Just a quick piece on the on iron and lead. There's a big jagged piece here. Look, there's a big iron. Look. And then lead. So lead's coming in exactly the same as everything else, really. The only way to refine that would be the 50 tones, but they're all much of a muchness. That's lead, buttons, Romans, all about the same. So dig, dig, dig.